not been here since pre-Hall Property Group, so.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we will be taking a walk through the Eastgate Mall in Union Township, Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. Now, this is not my first time visiting this mall. Longtime viewers of the channel will recall that I made a video of this mall back in October of 2019. And although that video is definitely not one of my best, back then, the mall was beginning to struggle, but still had a decent lineup of stores inside and was doing rather well for itself. However, today, this mall has really fallen apart and suffers with a massive vacancy rot throughout its halls. So join me as we take another look at the Eastgate Mall, and let's see what it holds in store for us during my visit in August 2024, as well as some more updated footage you will see towards the end of this video from May 2025. The story of Eastgate Mall begins back in the 1970s, when planning for a new shopping mall within Clermont County, just east of Cincinnati, would begin development. Being developed by Jacobs, Visconti and Jacobs, construction would begin on the Eastgate Mall in 1974, with plans to open the mall in 1977. However, several delays would happen during the mall's construction, and this would push the mall's proposed opening back to August of 1979. Despite the delays, the Jacobs Group already had plans to expand this new mall, with space for 2 more anchors to be added in the future. However, Eastgate Mall's opening would be pushed back again to 1980 due to legal issues at the time. Once everything was officially settled and ready to go, the Eastgate Mall would officially open its doors for the first time on March 5th, 1980. It would feature Sears and JCPenney as its original anchors, along with 90 inline tenants throughout its halls. Eastgate Mall would receive great fanfare in the beginning, as it would become the new primary shopping destination for the eastern side of Cincinnati. Although it would face competition at the time with the nearby Beachmont Mall about 8 miles away, the Eastgate Mall would hold its own, due to its prime location right off of the newly expanded I-275 Beltway and State Route 32. Shortly after the mall opened, a freestanding showcase cinema would be built in the mall parking lot, which would open on December 5th, 1980. Although not much else would happen throughout the 1980s, the mall would continue to remain successful and sit at near full occupancy. Going into the 1990s, major changes would happen at the Eastgate Mall. As in the early 90s, Eastgate would receive its first major expansion, adding a new wing which would feature 30 additional tenants, as well as the mall's third anchor, McAlpin's. This expansion would be completed in 1992, and 3 years later, Kohl's would be added as the mall's fourth anchor on August 4th, 1995. At this point, Eastgate Mall would be home to around 110 shops throughout its 1,066,654 square feet of retail space. However, in 1998, McAlpin's would be converted to Dillard's as they purchased McAlpin's parent company, Mercantile. Throughout the rest of the 90s, Eastgate Mall would continue to remain successful, as going into the new millennium, it would kill off the nearby Beachmont Mall, which would be converted into the Anderson Town Center in 2003. Speaking of which, Eastgate Mall would see even more changes of its own throughout the early 2000s. In 2001, CBL and Associates would acquire 23 malls owned by the Jacobs Group, including Eastgate Mall, resulting in ownership of the mall turning over to CBL. And in 2003, the mall would receive an extensive renovation, giving us the look you see today. At the time, CBL described the updated look of the mall as a, quote, spring meadow, and it would also feature the addition of a food court. Throughout the early to mid-2000s, the Eastgate Mall would continue to remain successful, as it firmly established a retail corridor around itself. However, the Showcase Cinema in the mall parking lot would close and the space would be demolished around 2006. Although not much else would change throughout the rest of the 2000s, the 2010s would unfortunately begin the downfall of Eastgate Mall. In 2015, Dillard's would downgrade their Eastgate Mall location into a clearance center, and as a result, occupancy in the mall would begin to decline. Although Eastgate Mall was able to hold itself together for a little while, things would only get worse when on August 31st, 2019, Sears would announce the closure of their Eastgate Mall location, along with 85 other stores nationwide, and the store would officially close for the last time on December 15th, 2019 as the final Sears in Cincinnati. Shortly after Sears' closure, Eastgate Mall would have to shut down for a couple months in March 2020 due to the COVID lockdown. And when the mall reopened, occupancy would continue to go downhill, as many name brand shops would continue to leave the mall, such as H&M, American Eagle, and FYE, just to name a few. Although several small shops would move in around this time, it would not stop the vacancy rot inside of Eastgate Mall. By 2021, Dillard's would cut off their interior mall access, making you enter their store through the outside. In July 2021, it was announced that Kroger would be purchasing the former Sears building at Eastgate Mall, with plans to build a new supermarket in its place. However, on September 5th, 2023, CBL would sell Eastgate Mall to Hall Property Group, who currently owns Eastgate Mall as of the making of this video. In 2024, demolition of the former Sears was set to take place. However, demolition would be put on hold due to a legal dispute between Kroger and Hall Property Group. As of today, the Eastgate Mall is very much struggling, with occupancy inside hovering around 40 to 50%. Many national chains have left, and today, the mall is currently anchored by JCPenney, Kohl's, and Dillard's Clearance Center. It is the only operating mall in Clermont County, and who knows how much longer that's going to last. Although the future of Eastgate Mall is currently unknown, only time will tell what the future will hold for this property.
Eastgate Mall, while not my all-time favorite mall in the Cincinnati area, looks-wise, is definitely a quirky and colorful mall with design characteristics reminiscent of the early 2000s. While this mall is definitely struggling, there is often some sort of event going on, which helps draw people into the mall and helped it feel more alive. You can tell that in a lot of ways that this mall has been repurposed to cater to smaller businesses instead of major retailers.
Now, I would like to state right off the bat that this is definitely not my favorite mall of all time. Eastgate Mall definitely isn't the most interesting mall in the world. However, for a 2000s renovation, this mall does look really nice. I especially like the ceilings in this mall. Every corridor almost has something different to it, and it just makes it feel really unique. Also, the general color scheme of this mall is just really nice and pleasing. And although it's not the most interesting mall in the world, I do honestly really like it, and I really hope that Hall Property Group does not touch this mall, because quite frankly, this mall looks really nice as is, and anything else they would do to it would be an automatic downgrade. For those of you who know, you know. I'm not going to get into what Hall Property Group usually does to these malls in this video, as I would like to save that for a future episode. Now, I've been visiting the Eastgate Mall since 2018, and I can tell you that over the years, a lot has changed here, especially ever since my first video I recorded here in October 2019, which, although my video quality and filming skills back then were not very good, a lot has changed since that video. When I recorded that, Sears was closing, but the mall itself was still very busy and still had quite a bit of stores to its name. However, ever since then, this mall has really fallen apart. Occupancy is a major issue here, and it's really sad to see this mall in the shape it's in now. Because quite honestly, I feel like Eastgate Mall could have easily been the number 2 mall for Cincinnati. However, that unfortunately just doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. I think this mall would be a great small business hotspot, but who knows what the future of this mall will hold, especially with Hall Property Group owning it. But I would like to end this off by saying Eastgate Mall is a really nice mall, and for the longest time, I did genuinely think it had a chance of coming back, and it's just really sad to see it in the shape it's in now. Now, as we begin to wind down the full walkthrough of this mall, as promised in the beginning, I would like to show you some slightly more updated footage of this mall from May 2025. I revisited this mall on a Saturday in mid-May, and on the day I was here, there was some sports memorabilia event going on, and it caused the mall to be slam-packed. It was pretty cool to see some life throughout the inside of the mall. However, the occupancy issues still just show, as even some of the other tenants you saw within the walkthrough have left since that footage was taped in August of last year. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for watching my updated video tour of the Eastgate Mall in Cincinnati, Ohio. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like as it greatly helps support the channel. And whilst you're at it, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more mall videos like this to be released to more viewers like you. I have a lot more content coming to the channel very soon with a lot more stuff you're not going to want to miss. So be sure to subscribe for more malls to come your way. I also have an Instagram linked in the description with sneak peeks of future videos coming to the channel. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay awesome, and have a blessed day. I will see you all in my next video.